Hello everybody, it's me Austin. Welcome to another video where today we are going to be launching 28 Kerbals to Duna in one launch. So as you can see, I have so many Kerbals that in the bottom right you can actually, it's glitching out the textures. So I just don't mind that. This thing is super massive and it can barely get itself off the ground. So I do a lot of time warping in this video. This thing has it is eight big boosters, and each booster has 4 thrusters on it. So when you think about it, this first stage here has 32 thrusters on it, which is at times it could probably be a little excessive. But as you can see, we actually took off from the desert launch site. I don't know why, I just saw the option to, because I have the Making History expansion. Really good expansion. I'd say if you had a choice over Breaking Ground or Making History expansion, if you had to get one of them, I'd say Making History. Although Breaking Ground is still really cool. It's actually going to help with the... I guess I'm not really official on this, but if this is official, I'm going to be making this... This episode will be the part 1 to a series in my Kerbal Space Program gameplay. It's a mini-series called... I'm thinking about it. Okay, I might change the name. It's going to be called Dunes of Duna. Dunes of Duna. And basically it's going to be where we launch a bunch of stuff to Duna. So I'm not going to give away what we're launching in the next video, but what I can tell you is it has a lot, and I mean a lot, more Kerbals than this than this rocket does. So I'm not sure if I'm going to fill it in. In fact, I had to use the Alt F12 cheat menu in order to spawn in more Kerbals so that I had enough to fill this entire thing. I don't know how people like Matt Lown, who made like SSTO with 260 Kerbals in it. I don't know like how long it takes, like at least probably 10 seconds to make 5-10 seconds to make a Kerbal. So if you think about it, how long did he spend making Kerbals? Because you can only get a certain amount at one point from the astronaut place, the astronaut complex. So here we are going to be raising our apoapsis a little higher, just because it needs to be higher than it is. So Kerbin's atmosphere, from what I've researched, it ends at about 70,000 meters, but I usually go up to 8,000, 80,000, just so that I have that little extra margin of error. And again, this video is recorded post. It's recorded post recording. I think that's what I'm going to do for these Kerbal Space Program videos. It's just more convenient for me because I can actually... because then I can just record it whenever I build the rocket, and then just like commentate it when I have time to, so that way I don't have to schedule time for me to actually like sit down and record. Most of my like actual gaming videos will be normal live commentary, like Minecraft and stuff, but games like these where it's not like big survival and like there's not really much to commentate about while you're playing it, I'm gonna do like this, a voiceover on it, which is I think honestly it can be better because I can have time to reflect over the video. If you do notice, I have actually made my mic better. I screwed with the settings a little more. I actually moved my pop filter so that my pop filter is touching the microphone so that the sound waves can't bounce back and then hit it. So the pop filter is it's more efficient now. In fact, I could probably put a picture of it on screen right now. I'm actually gonna have to sit down and edit this video now. But I'll put a picture of it on screen right now, and how it's like touching the microphone. I'm not taking that picture right now. What? Hold on, I needed to tip that way. Okay. So here we did a little. I don't know what the proper term for it is, but I call it an orbit jump, where when we definitely do not have enough fuel to get into orbit, you get to where you're out of Kerbin's atmosphere, and then you do a full thrust at apoapsis. It's the most efficient. So you can see here, if I left 8 things of boosters in orbit, we definitely probably would have hit one of those soon. So I actually was kind of happy with how that cut off. I'm not sure why those like broke apart, but there's all 8 of our boosters. Don't worry about the parachutes. It actually was necessary that I had every single one of those parachutes, or else who knows, I might have accidentally crashed later in this video. Again, I'm not going to spoil it. I don't know, I might have crashed. I was actually a little concerned there, because I'm like, wait, should I actually be pushing through all this debris, or should I let it fly out a little before? So here I'm going to have a little poll in the comments. Alright, so in the comments, if you'd like to see me like fly a single, in the next one that is that I upload, would you rather see me put a space station somewhere, or launch like a satellite network around Kerbin? It wouldn't be a very efficient one. It would just be launching a bunch of satellites from a big mothership around Kerbin, and probably one around Minmus in the Mud. So down below, tell me which one you would rather watch. So right here, this was me. I was, again, last time I said that I did not do a very efficient escape, because I just click and dragged it, and as soon as I'm like, oh, there we go, we've got an exit, I was like, okay. I tried to conserve as much fuel as I could. Right here, I think, because I decided it was a pretty good one. I think we should have about 5,500 meters a second in this thing worth of fuel. So I did do quite a lot of cutting out as well, because this video, you can see the burns. I didn't have like a super fast engine, and the build was so heavy that it took so long to do the burns. So most of the maneuvers and encounters I had cut out of the video. This was me aligning myself to the maneuver node before I actually started burning for the maneuver, which you can see there. Here we don't really get a good shot of the landing vehicle, but as you can see, we are building a mobile base on Duna. So there you go. You can see a cut actually in between. That was about 45 minutes worth of time getting my what's it called, my my trajectory lined up and all that in an encounter with Duna. It took about 45 minutes to do the time warp at maximum warp. I didn't really have anything to do. I just sit back, chill, and watch some YouTube. I didn't watch myself though, because I don't really watch my own videos. Here we got our entry into Duna. So if you're wondering why did it say that your entry was going to be this direction, but in reality it turned and it was that direction. That's just a simple matter of it's called a gravity assist. If you do one good, you can slow yourself down or speed yourself up. So when I do my mission to Eve, I think what I'm gonna do is I might do a Minmus gravity assist, which will slow me down, but also launch me of the out of the what's it called, the Kerbal system. So yeah, because I'm going to Eve, and it wouldn't really be efficient to do an Eve slingshot to Eve. So I think we're gonna do a Minmus slingshot. The way that I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna lower myself. Well, I'm gonna wait to explain that until I actually release the video. So here, I did also cut this part out, because again, you can see down in the bottom right under our burn time, it's 4 minutes. I'm like, okay, no, I don't have anything to commentate. There you go, for 4 minutes. Even if, and I can't time warp, so there, I just cut until I got my encounter with Duna. And so here you can actually see, if you're wondering, how is this thing holding itself together? I put a decoupler on it, so it decouples from the engine. We aren't going to drag the engine around everywhere we go. But again, we do have 28 Kerbals in this thing. And I should actually, like, momentarily, I think I switched to the vehicle and actually opened the part where you can see how I fit 28 Kerbals in there. Come on, show it myself. Why have I done this to myself? Come on. Yeah, turn. Yep, turn some more. Turn. Come on. Hit the car. Okay. But you can see on the front, that's where all the parachutes are. We've got 2 communitrons. Right here. So right there we have a bunch of hitchhikers compartments. Those fit 4 Kerbals per compartment. It fits 4 Kerbals. So if we have, I think it was 4 Kerbals in the main cockpit, and then I think I had like 6 hitchhikers things, right? Yeah. But you can actually see, once I get to the ground, I scroll through and prove that there were 28 Kerbals on this this vehicle here. We didn't send Jeb, Valentina, Bob, or Bill at all. These are all newbies and or people that I had to create with the cheat menu. Well, it's not really a cheat menu. It's only if you use the cheats tab, which I do not use because I am not a scrub. I actually go places, and do real stuff. Alright, let's see here. So we're gonna be pushing farther in towards the planet and eventually deploy our parachutes and hopefully not have too rough of a landing. Right here, I think we were about, right here was like, wait, where does the atmosphere start? Because once I start getting plasma popping up in the atmosphere, I'm gonna slow down and like stop it so that I don't take any damage. That's me screwing around with the menus right there. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I need to beat Digital Assault in the race to 100 subscribers. Again, I'm gonna be hopefully doing a series called Dunes of Duna, and it's gonna be really good. I don't want to talk about it because I am going to spoil it. In the background though, let's see, I could probably put up a image of a part of it. I'm trying to think. Yeah, you know what? I'll put an image on the screen, and it will be part of it's gonna be the next video basically. Well, since I'm gonna put it, I'm not gonna tell you what it is though. You know what? I'll give you like a fraction of it. I'll give you a fraction of it. That sounds like a deal to me. So yeah, Dunes of Duna. I've already got like a pretty big plan for what's gonna be going on. So it's about after I start warping again. If I warp, we enter the atmosphere. I should have landed in the polar ice caps. That's actually an interesting fact. Some scientists have proposed that we melt the ice caps on Mars, and it will pretty much terraform the planet by having water running all through it, and plants will start growing, hopefully, maybe, or humans could just plant some plants. But they're hoping to do, if they use this plan, it'll be doing a greenhouse effect. Like, it'll trap in the heat, and it will basically warm up Mars so that it's almost the temperature of Earth. And a fun fact, in 7 billion years, Mars will be an Earth, and Earth will be like burned up. It'll be a burnt burnt cookies. Nobody likes them, nobody eats them, but Mars will be Earth-like with temperatures around what they are right now, actually. Here was an instance where I said I'm just gonna slow myself down. Last Soldier, if you're watching, this is what I mean by I just slow myself down whenever I descend into Duna. I just keep like a slow speed of 300 to 200 meters a second right here. And I think after 2 more small little slowdowns, I've just decided, okay, you know what, just use up the rest of our liquid fuel in the stage, and then dump the stage. Alright. Like the video. Also, I'm taking mission requests, although I do have my next couple of missions planned out. Let me pull them up. So we've got a mission to the Mun coming up, Paul, in a moon of Jewel, and Eve, as well as Duna's Dunes coming up. So that'll be pretty epic. Make sure that you watch out for those. I did say yesterday that my Minecraft series, uploading Minecraft every day until we beat it, would come out yesterday. Yeah, we had a complication with this piece of trash recording computer over here. When I get a new computer, I kid you not, I'm going to throw this thing off a balcony. But it wouldn't transfer the file onto our home server so that I could edit it on my good working computer, so that I could upload it. So now it's on this computer, and I will be probably uploading it right after this video comes out. I still need to find a good screenshot for it. I did record a second part to Spider-Man PS4, so if you liked that, that'll also be coming out later today. And right here was where we started entering the atmosphere. Well, we already are in an atmosphere, but we weren't like actually in, like, where it would kind of sort of matter. So right here again, that's where I said let's use up the rest of our liquid fuel, and I did, and then I just kept the stage so that we could gain a little bit of speed, and still, oh no, I didn't use all of it, although I just did. So that right there is us using the rest. Don't worry, that explosion didn't damage anything. It was just it was just a glitch because I did have that decoupler offset, and like basically I used break all laws of physics and put the decoupler inside of the craft here, and so it just kind of created a little effect of explosions, but nothing was damaged. So you can see we have a bunch of solar panels on the back of this thing. This thing does have a huge battery though. It can survive pretty long alone, and it does have those giant wheels that you get from breaking ground. I don't know, would you guys like me to start putting craft files in description of videos? Don't know how I'd do that, but I don't know, I might. But again, I'll put that little, I'll give you a second part. If you're still actually watching this, I'll give you a second part to that image that I said right now on screen. That it should be on screen by now. If I didn't, then that's just my editing skills not working. You know. And I'm still not sure if that's the final version of it. I might still do a little bit of editing, although the thing is 48.3 tons. So you know, not very confident that I'm going to be able to get it to Mars. Although I might check if this little craft right here is somewhere near that, which I doubt, but if it's somewhere near that, then I might just reuse my rocket to launch it, or I'll most likely just design an entire new rocket to fly it to Duna. It'll make use of the big giant new parts that you get with the making history expansion. And here you can see we almost have touched down with in the red planet of Mars. We've got Neilbury Kerman, Soprond Kerman, and Cumund Kerman, and then we have like another guy in the cockpit, and the rest of them are either like maintenance crews that have like science pilot and engineer, but for the most part I tried to make sure that most of them were like scientists, well not scientists, tourists, because you can, when you create a Kerbal, you can actually give them the role of a tourist, not terrorist. We don't promote terrorism. Terrorism is bad. Here we have, right now it's like, we're going too fast. If we 10 meters a second, 10.1 meters a second is too fast. We need to be going 10 meters or less, preferably probably 5 meters a second. But as you can already see, we have all of our parachutes deployed. This craft lagged my game so hard when I was flying it, just because there were 38 Kerbals on it. Not 38, 28. So then I was like 9.9 meters a second. It'll probably work, and hopefully it does as well. So I toggled the gear, the brakes, so that we wouldn't roll around once we hit the ground. If we hit the ground, are we gonna hit the ground? Who knows? Do I know? Yes, I do, but I'm not gonna spoil it. Just like I haven't spoiled any movie really. I've only, like, unless it's like a movie that's been out for a long time, and like someone had never seen it. All right, there we go. We have touchdown. So now that we have touchdown, and I've got like 3 more minutes to explain this before the video ends. Dunes of Duna is basically a series that I'm making where it's all about Duna and like building stuff and flying it to Duna, and establishing a permanent Kerbal colony on Duna. So you can see here, for some reason, the brakes turned off. So I'm like, go, hurry. The rover's driving away. It's going to drive away forever. We're screwed. And then I was like, oh, wait, if I just press the bracket, I can just switch to it and then hit the brakes. And then switch back to the Kerbal. And then just EVA pack over there. And well, I didn't EVA pack, I sprinted, because the EVA pack was doing that. Don't know why. But I did not just walk all the way over there for the next like 2 minutes. I time warped over there. Yeah, you can time warp and walk. It's pretty funny too, to watch the Kerbal time warp and walk. So I did a little EVA jump right there. And then he started sliding across, and I'm like, okay. And then here's what I mean by I did a time warp with the Kerbal. I did a ×4 time warp, and he just looks like, I don't know, what does that even look like? And his face as well. He's just so happy about it. And right here, that's just me reboarding it, because I was going to plant a flag. That's why I brought him out in the first place. But I did end up moving it a little to a more suitable location for a Kerbal colony. Who knows? Mods? Question mark. Mods getting introduced? Question mark. I don't know. Are they? Who knows? Maybe if I can figure out how to make the mod work so that I can actually like use a mod. So there's the little camera that you get in Breaking Ground. It's pretty cool. And yeah, those perfectly placed parachutes, every single one of them was actually needed in order to land. But again, this thing's a giant mobile base. There's the thumbnail for the video. And here's what I said by we brought 28 Kerbals to Mars, to Duna. And like, you can't continue to click and just go back to the Kerbals that you had originally. But I'd like to thank you all so very much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.